Have you ever wanted to explore the wilderness, protecting a sacred animal from poachers while kicking their ass at the same time? That's where We Are The Caretakers comes in, a newly developed game by Heartshake Games which defines itself as a turn-based combat RPG. The game has been quoted to have inspiration from Ogre Battle, XCOM, and Darkest Dungeon, which you can definitely see when playing the game. So I think it's time that we jump straight into what the story has to offer us. You play as the Conductor, a new leader for the Caretakers, in which the very first 15 minutes of the game you discover a Roan which has been murdered, but its infant's still around, which you decide to take them into your care and begin the task of finding who murdered the mother and why this poaching has been going on around the plains, which really hits home the realism of this story. The Roan, and I'm probably saying that wrong but we're going to roll with it anyway, is a rhino-like animal that wanders around the plains of the map. In a lot of these missions you are tasked with protecting these animals, ensuring they are safe from harm. Also, look how cute this little fella is. They definitely know they had to put something adorable in this game to pull on your heartstrings when you find out that they've been dying. Now then, the game is separated into multiple different missions. You have short, medium and long based missions during the campaign. Short missions being a text-based adventure, in which you choose an option with some dialogue. They don't really have too many implications on what happens within the game, though sadly that could have been really cool if they did. Medium and long missions both fall under the same bracket, in which you take your squads around the map, clearing sectors from the fog of war and fighting any poachers who you may find along the way. The biggest difference between the medium and long is the size of the map and the amount of enemies you normally have to fight. The actual RPG section definitely feels great when you first start playing the game, as you get to explore this world that gives you a sense of adventure. The maps feel like love has been poured into them and a lot of care, but I can say that after playing it for a few hours in, I felt myself not really caring about the environment anymore and just wanted to finish the missions as fast as possible. It just felt like all the missions were the same. As an example, a few of the missions have you tagging the Roan so that you can see them on the map. This becomes a bit more of a chore, as normally by the time you get to them, they're running away from you into a new sector, and by the time you actually get there, you have to uncover the sector first before you can chase after them. In the overworld, when you are wandering around the fog of war, you do randomly find towns. Now, I do think the towns are a bit of a nothing in the game. Sadly, the dialogue that you have with the NPCs there doesn't really add anything to the story, nor the gameplay. I would rather it have the option where maybe you can trade for a certain person, or they can take something in off you. Just adds a little bit more to the game. I'm a massive fan of turn-based combat in games, so knowing that this was the combat style for the game got me really excited to play it. But it does definitely feel like the combat needs some finishing touches. Some units are way more overpowered than others. There's an ability that one of the troops at the start of the game has, which is called Kick, in which if you land the attack, it has a chance to stun the enemy. So your combat will just go kick, 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 and forever stun lock the team you're fighting. It just makes the combat feel a little bit too easy at times, but it is a nice turn of pace from me dying all the time playing games like this. XCOM, I'm looking at you. I do feel the combat feels a little clunky at times, with hits missing over and over on something that's like an 85% chance to hit or less. And I know it can happen. These types of games are known for you missing when there is only a 5%, 10% chance of you missing. But the issue is it happened a lot. I just didn't find myself enjoying the combat as much as I hoped I would. Now, a feature that I really like that they've added is that you're given a choice what to do after defeating an enemy. And I don't mean just bosses, but every single enemy you come across. You're given multiple different options on what to do with them, being in detain, kill, or maybe get a bribe from them to see where things are in the map. I would always look to detain the enemy, as it would allow me to become the judge of their fate. I mean, hey, who wouldn't want to be Judge Judy for the day? But I think the system needs a little bit more of a revamp. When you detain someone, they get sent to jail. Now, that's a good option, but the issue is you've only got two options on what to do with them. That might be detrimental to your game, as they both might be negative effects. I would rather have the option to do whatever I want, whether it be recruit them, send them to the judges, maybe have them killed, then no matter what, it seemed like it was a bad idea to take them in. The game's tech tree system allows you to upgrade your tech either at the headquarters or during battles. Now, I've never really known a lot of games to allow you to upgrade your tech tree during a battle, something that I thought was really cool and something that should be implemented into more games. Plus, You're allowed to see everything that you will unlock on the tech tree straight away. Something else that I love in games, like I want to be able to know what I will unlock as the game goes on. Plus it allows me to choose the path that I want my caretaker to take in the game. We Are The Caretakers is definitely an enjoyable game. I do think the mix of turn-based combat and real-time strategy is something I'd definitely love to see more in the future, as the two just seem to work so well together. But saying that, I do think this game lacks a little depth. The game definitely is something to keep an eye on, as I think with just a few updates, it could definitely be something that is really special, as long as they put the care in Caretaker.